Hello everyone and welcome to Stan the Wine Man TV. I am your host, Stan Ratan, and this is a Blue Collar Wine Show where I help you spend your wine dollars wisely. We're going to give a little love to Piedmont in northwest Italy. I have some friends that are going there in March, and they asked me if I could get them an appointment or two at a winery, and I was able to seal one deal so far, and it just inspired me. I said, I have some of these wines around, so let's review them on my channel. And so we're going to look at mostly wines under $20, because you start getting into Barolo, Barbaresco, you're talking some serious coin. Well, these wines that I have here, one is made from Dolcetto, the rest are primarily Nebbiolo, which is the grape of Barbaresco and Barolo. And it's because of Barbaresco and Barolo that Piedmont has the most DOCG and DOC wines in Italy next to the Veneto. So that's pretty impressive. So a lot of the wines that come from Piedmont are highly rated and quality wines. They don't have an IGT wine, which is basically a table wine in Piedmont, believe it or not. I have a little map here just to give, and most of you have, how many of you have been there? I've been there. It's a beautiful country. Certainly a beautiful country. So Piedmont is up in the northwest here. So you probably can't see this very well, but here you have France. So France is on the west. Above it on the north is the Val d'Aosta and Lombardy. So that borders the north side of Piedmont. And then to the south you have Liguria. So they surround Piedmont. Piedmont is a very hilly country. There are some parts of Piedmont that they can't plant grapes. They don't get quality grapes. But especially around Langhe, they're really hilly, very good place to grow the Nebbiolo grape and Dolcetto as well. There's four main towns of Piedmont that people recognize. That would be Barbaresco, Barolo, in which those wines are named out after, and then you have Alba and Asti. So those are the four main cities of towns of the Piedmont area. There's many towns there, of course, and very cool ones, by the way. A lot of them are, they have a castle on top or a church on top. They were, they built these towns on the hills so they could protect themselves from enemies. Let's get started right off the bat. We have the Franco Serra Dolcetto di Alba. Dolcetto is a very cool grape. It's been my pick of the year a couple of times, not this particular one, but so this is a 2020 Franco Serra Dolcetto di Alba. So obviously the Dolcetto is grown in the area of Alba, and this rolls in at $15. Barbaresco Barolo, cool wine. I have a few in my cellar aging away because really they do need some age on them. For a while there, some critics were causing some of these producers to make a more fruit-forward, bolder style Barbaresco and Barolo, and really I was sad to see that. But now they seem to be coming back. Contacted Isabella from Odero. She set up a tour for these guys, my friends that are going over there, and what a great winery. And they have never gone to the dark side of making fruit-forward, bigger style Barolos or Barbarescos. So the color on this one is, medium, not super dark, but definitely not light. So right in the middle. Let's see what we get on the nose. Get a little cola action, get a little root beer, which is interesting. Well, definitely kind of getting red flowers, a little bit of violet coming through, so cherry notes for sure. Very aromatic, by the way. Let's see what we get on the palate. Classic Italian wine. Get a little bit of that rust. There's a rust element coming through. The tannins are solid in structure, but on the softer side, not big tannic wine. I get a lot of red flower on this one, almost like chewing on some red flowers. And that, just a slight kiss of root beer comes through as well. Cherry notes, a little strawberry coming through as well, which is very interesting. This is a nice wine. Drinkable all by itself, but like most wines of Europe, especially Italy, they make these wines to go with food. This would really benefit from some lamb chops. This would be good with ham. So a charcuterie board would be really nice with this one. But just saying, it could go by itself. It's a very delicious wine. It's almost a 10 in the delicious category. Cherry, strawberry notes, a little bit of that root beer coming through, which is quite interesting to me. Good length on the finish, solid integration, just a beautiful wine. 15 bucks, boys. This is great Dolcetto. I'm glad I got a chance to try. I've never tried this wine, and I'm excited. I like this wine. In fact, we're doing an eggplant dish tonight for dinner. I think this would be perfect. The tannins are not heavy. They're nice and light. Not quite as light as let's say a Pinot Noir, but right just above a Pinot. But good flavors, a little bit of minerality coming through, which I like. I'm going to go, that's a solid B plus A minus wine. Franco Cero, Dolcetto Diablo 2020. Let's move on. Now I pulled a couple wines from my wine cellar. One of my most popular episodes is Can You Age Inexpensive Wines? In fact, I just got a comment recently asking about degree variation and if their wines would be okay. And I just said, as long as they don't get warm, you're okay. And he was glad to hear that. So this is a 2015 GD Vira Longue Rosso. This was in at $17. Now the thing about Longue Rosso, and this particular one, it's primarily Nebbiolo, but they also blend a little bit of Dolcetto, a little bit of Barbera, and in this case some Pinot Noir, which is very interesting. So they do have some of those great varietals there, even though their main focus is Dolcetto, Barbera, and in reds, Dolcetto, Barbera, and Nebbiolo. So 2015 has 7 years on it. Again, this is a little about the same as the other one. I see a little bit of a brown hint to it, which shows the age. It's not super age, but it's got some age on it. Always excited to try wines that I put away, as I mentioned in that episode a while back. And if you ever want to check that out, I think I can put a link down in the description area, so you can click on that and go right to that episode. But I like to take inexpensive wines that have fairly decent pedigree and put them away for a while, because I enjoy that experiment, seeing how these wines do. And many times, if you get the right vintage and the right wine, they will age, even if they're not in the super expensive category. A lot of the wines that I have in there are under $15. So this one's in at $17. Color is about the same. I get a little bit of a brown hint on the edge of this. I'll use that little map here. Just a little bit of brown in there, which is okay. Let's see what we get on the nose. Boy, this has some umami qualities. Very savory on the nose. I get the cherries and the strawberry on this one as well, and I get the rust coming through. A little bit of a red flower black olive thing, which is cool. I get a little bit of a sweetness coming through on the nose as well. Let's see what we get on the palate. There's that rust. This one has a little more depth to it. I'm excited about this. I have another bottle of this in the cellar. So this is still could age a little bit longer. $17, guys. And this is beauty. The black olive comes through, the cherries come through, a little bit of strawberry notes, a little licorice on this one, which I like. A little more tannic structure, but not huge. More than the Dolcetto, of course. Dolcetto isn't known necessarily to be tannic. Just a beauty. I mean, again, lamb, eggplant when we go great with this. This says eggplant and cheeses and provolone and all that. So this is going to be exciting to do this dish. I'm really liking this wine. Good long finish. Wow. Nice balance, good integration. You could drink this by itself. if you have that sort of mentality, you like that kind of rustiness. But this would definitely benefit from food. I would go, you know, salami, pepperoni, that sort of thing. Pizza wine, yes, pizza wine, but you know, have something a little more serious. I'm just saying. It'd be good with blue cheeseburgers. Just saying. Yeah. Oh, I like that wine. Has just a little bit of a tobacco notes coming through on the backside, but not strong. Just barely. I like the finish. It's nice and long. I'm going to go straight up A on that. I think that is a solid Longue Rosso. Let's move on. So we have another Longue Rosso. This is Puder, Rigeri, Corsini, Longue Rosso, Méthode. And this rolls in at $15. And this one also has Barbera and Dolcetto, sans the Pinot Noir. So this is also a 2015. So again, this wine has been in my cellar for a couple of years, and I'm excited to see how it does. And really the answer on can you age inexpensive wines? Yes, you can, but you have to pick them carefully. And it's always good to experiment. Aging inexpensive wines is fun because it doesn't cost you a ton of money. This is $15 for this little bad boy, 15 bucks. This one's a little darker than the last Longue Rosso, but it has no Pinot Noir in it, primarily Nebbiolo. Let's see what we get on the nose. See, so this is chocolate on the nose. So different. I love that about wine. Chocolate, you get a little bit of bark. There's some darker red flower notes in this one. Cherry. Even a little touch of currants coming through. Let's see what we get on the palate. Some funk to funk, baby. Some funk on the palate. Really hit on the mid palate. This is a rusty little red. Good depth on this one. Had that little bit of funk on the mid palate. This is like solid wine. This is still a baby. Just saying. $15. This will age another, I would say, 3 to 5 years. Absolutely. Bark notes come through. This is more earth notes to it. Yeah, I'm not getting a lot of brown on this one. This is really, really fresh. So, earth notes, bark. This is kind of tight. I'm just saying, kind of tight. Good structure on this wine. I get the cherry notes, the rust, red flowers. Feels like I chewed on a dark rose petal, actually. Nice little, almost like a meat marinade, sort of a Worcestershire sauce thing coming through on the backside. Not soy so much, but yeah, a little bit of that coming through. A little meat marinade, solid wine, and the flower notes just linger. I like it. Like I said, this is not as open as the other two. It's a little tight right now, which is okay. You can see the quality. You can taste the quality in this wine. I like those umami, those savory flavors on the finish. A little bit of herbal, dried herb thing going on. Yeah, I like it. I have to go A on that one as well. It's $15. It's 2015. It's been around for 7 years and it still needs a little more age. So this is a solid wine, $15. Good program so far. Let's move on now to this is the Franco Serra Longue Nebbiolo. So 100% Nebbiolo, 2018. And this rolls in at 17 bucks. So we're staying under 20, which I always like to stay under 20 bucks, if I can. How many of you out there have aged inexpensive wine, have experimented with that? I know a lot of people think you cannot do that, but I've had so much success that I encourage you to at least give it a try. As long as you have a place you can stick the wine that doesn't get too warm and stays a little bit on the cooler side, you're going to be okay. So this is the lightest of the bunch, almost as about the same as the first one, I should say, because the first one was a Dolcetto. You can see right through this thing, just saying. Yeah, just saying. So Nebbiolo is really what puts Piedmont on the map. But, Dolcetto, Barbera especially. Barbera is huge up in the northwest Italy. Let's see what we get on the nose. I get that kind of cold root beer thing on the nose here. Getting some strawberry and cherry notes as well. A little bit of rust. The bark is coming through on this one. Very earthy. Let's see what we get on the palate. Boy, I know a lot of people that would dig this one. $17. It has kind of a rounder fruit flavor profile, but it's not fruit forward. It just has that kind of rounder fruit. That black olive kind of comes through. I didn't get that on the nose, but you have that strawberry cherry thing, a little bit rounder. The rust is not as prominent on this wine. I do like my Nebbiolos to be rusty, but they don't all have to be rusty. This one, and then you have that nice earth tones underneath, that bark, kind of dried bark, earth notes, black olive, little touch of chocolate as well right on the back end. And I'm going milk chocolate, not dark chocolate, not bittersweet chocolate. It has a little bit of milk chocolate thing coming through, but not in a big prominent way, but you can taste it. It's kind of there. It has the rust. You could drink this solo, really by itself, but this is a beautiful wine as well. I'm excited about this lineup. Susie and I went to Northwest Italy in 2019 for our honeymoon, and we just loved it up there. Beautiful area. And these are beautiful wines from the Langhe region of Piedmont. A little bit of that black olive comes through on the backside. Nice long finish. This wine, this is what I like about Nebbiolo, is it's thinner, but it has so much personality, so much flavors, so many cool things about it that makes it a really nice wine. And they are great food wines. And we're talking if you're having pasta with red sauce, if you're having lamb, if you're eating some charcuterie. These are great wines for that. I could see some really nice, like blue cheeses, things like that would be great. There you go. I'm just going to go A-, just a hair down from the rest. But I think this might be the most popular with the Dolcetto out of the bunch for the wine drinker that just wants something to pop and pour when they come home, having a little bit of food. Those are great wines, but I like them all, really. Red flower notes on that little bit of kind of root beerish flavor comes through as well. Very nice wines. Thanks for taking a little time out of your day. I hope you guys, how many of you enjoy wines from Piedmont? Probably Barbera, I would imagine. But what is your favorite varietal out of Piedmont in reds? Because since it's a red episode, let's hear what your favorite varietals in Piedmont are in the red category. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. You keep watching, and I'll keep helping you spend your wine dollars wisely.